WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. 2 people are dead following a bank robbery in Mantachie. A teller, Judy Guin, was shot and killed during the robbery. Not too long afterwards, the accused bank robber took her own life. Our Quentin Smith has been in Mantachie and following this developing story. He joins us
Joey, I'm
live
here
from the
outside
crime
of the
scene.
Farmers and Merchants
Quentin.
Bank in Mantachie, where a shooting and robbery took place earlier this morning. Judy Guin is the bank teller who tragically lost her life during this incident. Now, the bank has placed wreaths and black ribbons all around the bank in honor of Guin. I speak with her family members, and they say they're still devastated by this senseless tragedy.
It's like just sick at my stomach. I mean, this is unreal. No money anywhere is worth this.
Frustration and grief spill over into the parking lot outside of Farmers Merchants Bank in Mantachie, as family members and residents are still in disbelief over Wednesday's tragedy.
The person walked into the bank, gun drawn, asked for, or demanded where's the vault. As the person went back to look at the vault, she turned and shot the teller.
Judy Guin is the teller who was tragically shot and killed. After Guin was shot, Itawamba County Sheriff Chris Dickinson says the female gunman then fled from the scene.
I don't know that any money was taken at this point.
It's crazy. Why rob the bank? Why shoot and kill her? You know the lady was trying to give her the money. Why kill somebody? I mean, it's senseless.
The small Mantachie town is now shaken up after the devastating tragedy.
Why take a life for $1?
I've known that lady all my life, and if I'd have been standing there, it wouldn't have happened. I promise you. I have no words. I'm upset.
Family members say Guin worked at the bank ever since it opened. They describe her as a godly woman who loved her community. They say she was a wonderful person who was taken away from them too soon.
Sometimes when you go in the bank, Judy would want to know how you were doing, about the sick people of the community.
You would have never met a nicer person. She would have given you your shirt off her back, She was just a great
Now, there was
person.
another teller inside of the building during the time of the shooting. However, she did not receive any injuries. Now, the bank did close down after the shooting, and at this time, it's still unclear when the bank will reopen. For now, reporting live in Mantachie, Quentin Smith, back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Quentin. Within minutes, the suspect was spotted in Saltillo, where the chase ended. WCBI's Allie Martin picks up the story from there, and he joins us live with more. Allie?
That's right. The female suspect, now identified as 28-year-old Ashley Smith, she fled the scene, headed westbound on 363 in a black Tahoe. Within 10 minutes or so, Saltillo police spotted that Tahoe heading into town, and they initiated a traffic stop. Now, as police were going up to the vehicle, Smith apparently took her own life, ending the crime spree. As Saltillo police and Mississippi Highway Patrol approached this black Tahoe, which had pulled onto the shoulder, a single shot rang out.
I can say that there was apparent what we believe to be self-inflicted gunshot wound inside that vehicle.
Sheriff Johnson says the suspect vehicle and the female driver match eyewitness accounts from the bank. This portion of Highway 363, just east of Saltillo, was shut down for hours as investigators from the FBI, MBI, and other agencies processed the scene. As a homeowner on 363 helped divert traffic, Chris Nance, a nearby resident, was watching everything unfold from a distance.
We just pulled up over here and seen all of it going on and wondering what was going on here. And my wife, she got on the phone to see if anything was going on, and I heard you saying something about a woman shooting herself.
Meantime, Ann George and her grandkids were keeping an eye on the action from their front porch.
Lord, we seen it all up that way, and we heard about the Mantachie Bank getting robbed, but we thought it was a man, such a lady.
Do you think we're seeing more violence around here maybe than we used to?
Yes, sir, we are.
Why do you think that is?
Because stuff like this don't never happen around in here. Not around here in Saltillo or nothing. But Lord,
Of course, MBI, the FBI, and other agencies are investigating the crime and expect to release more information and possibly a motive in the coming days. For now, we'll continue to follow this story as more information becomes available. We'll turn things over now to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a very wet first look. Keith?
Hey, Joy, right now, indeed, we are overcast, some showers in the Columbus area. There's our Alpha Insurance camera. We got the Tupelo. Hasn't really been raining too heavily at this point. Rain is coming your way, and we can show you that with our live radar network. So the steadier rain lifting on through, about to get to Tupelo. That's the first little wave here this evening. More rain down to the south. We'll talk about that in just a split second, but this evening, scattered showers, some locally heavy rain, temperatures in the mid to possibly low 70s here. Fairly steady as we go throughout the course of the evening and overnight hours. Now let's talk about Cindy. You can see all of this moisture down here across the southern part of the Twin States right here. Some flash flood warnings, even some severe weather down there. And that moisture will be coming our way for the next couple of days. Several inches of rain possible, even an isolated tornado threat tomorrow and Friday. More on that in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Keith. As he just mentioned, Tropical Storm Cindy is moving closer to shore this evening, and EMA directors in our area are preparing for the impacts. Our Victoria Bailey has more on their plans. She joins us live from Columbus with what she found out.
That's right, Joey. According to Winston County EMA Director Buddy King, the greatest threat to Mississippi is heavy rainfall and flooding produced by the east side of the storm. Now, some southern parts of the state are projected to receive about 10 to 15 inches of rain. And for residents, having a evacuation plan is key. King says especially with the weather the area has had leading up to Cindy's arrival.
We're fortunate to have lots of beautiful trees, but as well, when the ground gets as wet as it is now, we have problems with trees that become uprooted and fall on houses and trees and power lines. So that's where our preparation falls around right now in Winston County, is being prepared for down trees and the damages they cause.
Now, according to King, Cindy is projected to make landfall in western Louisiana Thursday morning. I'm live in Columbus, WCBI News, Victoria Bailey.
All right, thanks, Victoria. A new ordinance in Noxubee County will change where smokers can light up. However, some people aren't happy about the decision, and it may not be final. Our Jory Talley joins us live in the studio to explain. Jory?
Joey, it's called the Noxubee County, Mississippi Smoke-Free Air Ordinance of 2017. Now, some supervisors say they want to revisit the issue.
Lighting up in Noxubee County could be more difficult if the new ordinance goes through. Right now, it's scheduled to begin June 25th. However, Noxubee County District 5 Supervisor Bruce Brooks says he didn't realize what he voted for when the smoke-free ordinance passed back in May.
We did not have the exact ordinance, and the way it was explained to us, it was very vague, and so then the attorney is actually the one that drew it up. But the board never seen the final copy.
Brooks thought the ordinance banned smoking at county-owned buildings like the hospital and nursing home, not across the entire county.
Now that we have gotten the in-depth of the ordinance, it has really shook a lot of my constituents up. I've been getting several calls and not understanding why did we pass something of this magnitude.
Cedric Malone is one of those people wanting the ordinance extinguished. He's a smoker and has many clients who smoke when they come to get their hair cut at the chop shop in Brooksville. The new no-smoke law would put an end to that.
I understand for public businesses like hospitals, schools, governmental businesses or properties, courthouses, but as for the general public, I don't agree with it.
He says he doesn't see how the ban would help protect people or the environment, which is mentioned in the ordinance.
The ozone layer is affected anyway. You got the truckers passing, you got gas all in the air, you got hog farms, so I don't think just smoking is going to do something about it.
Malone says he's glad supervisors are going to take another look at the 100% smoke-free law.
We may tweak it a little bit and make it where we feel like it's fair to all constituents, and we either will counsel it for the moment and then see that we can draw up something that's going to be more acceptable to the people.
Now, if supervisors vote to keep the ordinance as is, Noxubee County would be the first in the state to go 100% smoke-free. This ordinance also bans e-cigs from being used in the county. The Noxubee County Sheriff's Department will be enforcing the ordinance. Right now, the ordinance says offenders will be fined for smoking in the county. Sheriff Terry Grassery says smoking at places like the courthouse and the jail is already banned. He also says once the ordinance goes into effect, they'll keep a watch out for violators in newly banned areas.
At this point, we had to have a copy of the ordinance with us in case we had to go back to rectify or justify or try to make sure we're making the right decision. And at times, we still might have to either just write a citation, get in contact with our attorney to see is this what you all meant when you all put it, in black and white.
Grassery says although they will be enforcing the ordinance, crimes like break-ins and murders will be a priority. Joey.
All right, thanks a lot, Jory. Mailing letters and sending packages is getting a little more convenient for folks around Caledonia. We look in on the one-stop shop when we come back. Welcome back, everyone. Residents around Caledonia have a new option for postal service. Malone's Grocery held a grand opening for the area's newest village post office. The new location offers a full selection of postal products and services with the added convenience of 7-day service and longer hours.
It gives the neighborhood an added dimension, and it also extends the postal service as a company. We're more in touch with the rural areas.
The post office hours is not flexible for a lot of people that work, so we're open almost 24/7 till 10 o'clock at night and on the weekends, so you can buy your stamps or get your prepaid boxes.
The village post office is open Monday through Saturday 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sundays 5 a.m. to 9 p.m.
This is Parker King reporting. Tonight we look back at a story from Monday about why people are staying in the Golden Triangle and what draws them here. We'll be looking at facts to see if this backs up the claim that the Golden Triangle is a welcoming area for its younger crowd. It's all coming up tonight at 9 and 10 on WCBI News.
All right, a live look in Biloxi right now. You can see Tropical Storm Cindy's effects down there. We are having rain around here. The full forecast after the break.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Some steady rain here in Monroe County. There's a live Doppler radar. You can see right over Becker to just north of Sulligent right now. Some steadier rain, some heavier downpours moving closer and closer to Tupelo. It's been dry most of the day, but you will get in on a little bit of rain. We're drying things out a little bit in Columbus and Point South, but more moisture farther to the south. You can see this big shield of rain down here in Louisiana, southern parts of Mississippi and Alabama. It's a soaker. All of that rain is coming back to the north. Let's go live down to the Gulfport, Biloxi area. You can see the whitecaps there on the Gulf of Mexico. The camera bobbing up and down. This is from our sister station, WXXV, down there in Gulfport. So a nice little live feed for you right there. So we do have some active weather in the region. Earlier today, look at that. That's a water spout off Biloxi with some of those rotating showers and thunder showers. We tend to get water spouts and actual tornadoes. So that was event number one. Also at Beauvoir today, a little bit of wind damage there, right there in Biloxi too, with that tree coming on down, and also some fence damage. So we've had some severe weather reports in the region, some tornadoes, some wind damage, some flooding, a widespread heavy rain in Louisiana, southern Mississippi, Alabama, and parts of Florida, some spots approaching and probably surpassing 10 inches already. And you can see the actual center of this thing way out here southeast of Galveston, Texas. That's the center of this. The last update, sustained wind around that thing, about 50 miles per hour. But outside of it, well to the northeast, is all of this active weather, and that moisture is moving back to the north. So here's the actual center of the storm. It's going to be staying to our west. We don't really have to worry about that necessarily. We are on the eastern side of it, so we'll see some rain. But actually, as this center, the remnants of that circulation come into North Mississippi and the Mid-South, we will have just enough oomph, if you will, to get an isolated tornado threat going with some of these rotating showers and storms over the next couple of days. So that's threat number 2, I guess. Threat number 1 would be the heavier rainfall. Overall, a chance at 1 to 3, maybe some spots 4 to 5, if you get some of those steadier downpours over the next 24 to 48 hours. But here's that severe weather threat tomorrow. We're in the marginal category here, just off to our west and southwest in the yellow. That's a slightly better opportunity for a rotating storm that could produce a tornado or two. Now, as we get into Friday, that is really over our area with the remnants of Cindy coming on through. So here's Futurecast. The showers and thunder showers move through the region tonight, basically showers. And then we may just see some scattered activity tomorrow, but then as we get into the afternoon, the daytime heating, some of these storms may become cellular in nature, these little rotating mini-type supercell-type storms, and those could produce a better opportunity for one of those spin-up tornadoes. Same story in the Friday, too. So we have a lot going on here. What you need to know is that heavy rain is possible Thursday and Friday. Again, there could be a little bit of severe weather, too. Rain chances diminish as we close out the weekend, and as we get into next week, we get a nice drying turnaround here.
All right, well, coming up, the high school football tour makes its 3rd stop of the year as we preview the TCPS Eagles. Next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
The tour rolls on with our opening week as we continue our previews in Class 1A. Tonight we take a look at a team jumping back into division play following a run of being independent, and they are ready to take 1A by storm. Stop number 3 of our 60 schools in 60 days previews the TCPS Eagles.
WCBI's 60 Schools in 60 Days is brought to you by Toyota, Let's Go Places, and Emerson Animal Hospital, where your pets are family in West Point.
It's about continuing to win as a program for the TCPS Eagles football team. Last season, the Eagles finished 7-2 and now look to continue their winning ways with 6 starters returning.
I'm looking forward to, we got a bunch of young guys, see what they can do, and we have a chance at doing something that hadn't been done, making playoffs, and just be special.
I was ready to turn on Friday Night Lights and hopefully make a playoff run, most definitely. I'm ready for division ball.
The fact, number 1, that it's football season again. Number 2, the fact that our guys get to compete in the division for the first time. Be the first time all of these guys have had a chance to compete in division play, and I'm very excited about that for them.
As you just heard the team mention, the TCPS Eagles will be competing in division play for the first time in 2 seasons. They will be competing in the Class 1A North Division this upcoming fall.
It'll be a tough division, but we're looking forward to it, looking forward to the challenge. Playing a lot of new teams, a lot of teams that we need to play, and just it'll be fun.
They're definitely bigger schools than us, and it's going to be tough games, but I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to play some tougher teams and some bigger schools and hopefully win and get a reputation behind us here at TCPS.
Bigger schools. I mean, we got to step up. We got a lot of players that play 2 ways this year. Got a lot of younger players have to step up, and we're just ready to play as hard as we can and make a run.
Every week after the first 2 weeks is a division game, so it's going to be a gauntlet that you have to go through. So it's going to be a great experience for our kids, and just really looking forward to it.
The Eagles have 7 seniors entering into this season. Coach Holliday says that they've been through the workouts. He'll know what to expect out of them being the leaders on the team.
I expect them to be senior leaders. They've been through the tough times, and they know what the tough times are like. So really going to lean on those guys to take the young guys and teach them the TCPS football way.
TCPS will look to have another winning season while competing in divisional play, and will look to make a first ever playoff appearance. Coach Holliday hopes this team can get that opportunity.
It would be a great accomplishment, not only for the football team, but for the school. And that's our goal. You know, you don't play this game not to make the playoffs. Now we have a chance to make the playoffs, and that's our goal.
The TCPS Eagles will open their season at home against New Site on August 18th. on the high school football tour with the TCPS Eagles. I'm Jonathan Flippo with WCBI Sports.
60 Schools in 60 Days with Tupelo Christian Preparatory School was brought to you by Zip Scripts.
And lastly, Tyreek Reed will go pro. The Holka native and ICC Indian will sign his professional baseball contract with the Texas Rangers at a ceremony tomorrow afternoon in Pontotoc. Reed was selected 254th overall in the 8th round in last week's Major League Baseball draft. Now, he had to decide between going pro or attending Mississippi State, but he will be headed to be a pro. His pick value right around $150,000. Not bad. That's it for sports. Last look at your forecast next.
Okay, some heavier rain is possible tonight, tomorrow, and Friday. Don't forget about that severe weather threat. It's minimal, but we can't rule out an isolated tornado Thursday or Friday with the remnants of Cindy coming our way. We've been through this before. We'll get through it. Rain chances diminished by the end of the weekend and some drier weather next week.
I know y'all will be here keeping an eye on that. Also, probably watching some river stages as well.
That is correct.
All right. Thanks, Keith. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Have a great night.